I bet this.
You were saying, Tim?
Well, I was just saying that I bet this podcast is going to be a good time.
Whoa. Hey, we're talking about Good Time.
Yep, good time.
Like episode 2 of what we're calling the indie reel.
Okay, cool.
I didn't add like an intro to last week's episode or to the ghost story episode. Yeah. But yeah. So Jared, I don't know if you heard, but we're kind of like doing this new addition to the show called the indie reel, where we talk about like lesser known films, like indie films. Like we talked about A Ghost Story last week, which not a lot of people saw. We're probably going to be talking about the Florida Project.
This weekend.
Good.
I hope to see
yes,
it.
we have to talk about that. Yeah, you should go see the Florida Project also.
Josh is ready to attack.
Seriously,
for not seeing it.
That movie is so fucking incredible, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Wait, where's it in?
It's playing
Lowe's Raceway.
The Lowe's Raceway.
That's probably the closest that I've seen it.
Yeah. Do you have Movie Pass?
No. I want to sign up for it.
You should. You got it, right?
I have it. I still haven't used it. So Florida
Use
Project,
it on the Florida Project. It's so good. But today we're talking about Good Time. I'm joined today with Jared and Timmy-Boy, good old Timmy-Boy.
AKA.
We missed you last week on Blade Runner.
Yeah, but I mean, it sounded like you had enough.
It was a good time. Yeah, we had a lot of people.
It was a room full.
Yeah, it's a little refreshing having 3 people. So
yeah, like A Ghost Story was really relaxed.
It was nice, mellow.
Yeah, so I'm excited for.
All right, so Timmy-Boy, you were just telling us that you saw this movie 3 times.
I have seen it 3 times.
3 times. So you probably know the most about it, or can at least recall the most about it out of the 3 of us, I would say.
I think just because I just saw it for the 3rd time like a week and a half ago, so it is still pretty heavy on my mind. I loved this movie. I thought it was great. I had actually never heard of the Safdie Brothers at all.
I hadn't either.
And then I saw this trailer when I was going. I think I was telling you when I saw It Comes at Night. I actually saw the trailer for this and A Ghost Story back to back. And I was like, both of those look crazy. And then I ended up seeing Good Time. I actually almost got shut out the first time I went to see it because my friend and I, we waited too long and we were driving pretty late. They were, locking up the doors of the movie theater. And we ran up and we were like, and they were like, do you have tickets? And we were like, yeah, we do. And he's like, okay. And we missed, the opening shot. When we got in, it was when Nick is actually talking to the psychiatrist. He's, already in mid-conversation.
Right.
And when I saw it the second time, I was like, I just missed a wide shot of, a close-up of the building. They were moving into the building. That was it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But, yeah, I think right away, the reason why, I guess we'll go around and just say, a lot of things we like. Right away, that beginning scene where, it's pretty upsetting to see this guy, Nick, obviously we can tell that there is something off or there's something wrong with him. But when his brother comes in and grabs him out, there's an immediate dynamic set up, I think, between these two brothers. With not a lot of setup, just immediately he comes in. He says oh, do you want to rip it up, and he just commands him to do it. Boom. And my favorite thing is that when they're walking down the hallway, Connie says something to Nick, and I've seen it 3 times. I still don't know what he says because whatever he says, there's the crazy scores playing, and he says something and I remember sitting there the first time seeing it, what'd he say? And then Nick goes, what? And he never responds to him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this movie is real. It's really I think that however they wrote that, just the entire screenplay, it flows so well that there are some things I'm sure we can talk about that I find a little unrealistic, but overall, those characters, they nailed the writing and the performances for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
all right.
My initial
Jared,
thoughts.
Your initial thoughts?
I can't be nearly as descriptive because I saw it when it first came out, the day or 2 after probably, and I thought my favorite part about it was the performances, especially with Ben Safdie.
Is it Ben? Yeah, Ben.
Yep,
Nick.
Benny Safdie.
Yeah, him and Robert Pattinson. I thought they were just fantastic.
Both incredible.
And
and even who's the other guy? The guy that he takes from the hospital?
Buddy Duress.
He did great.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. What else, though?
I don't know, like same as Tim said, like I thought the whole story was like pretty real from the start, and it was I just thought it was amazing.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen the movie Falling Down?
No.
Okay, so that movie has Michael Douglas in it. Came out in the 90s. I think it's a Joel Schumacher movie, and it's a little different, but it's more like Michael Douglas basically like hits his breaking point, and then he goes on. It's like a day in the life. So it's like it's like a day story, and that's what this film is. It's like there's really no breaks between.
Just crazy.
Between
night.
much, it's just a crazy night. Yeah. And that movie Falling Down is like a day where Michael Douglas just kind of like goes on a rampage, and he like beats people up, and like he like wants a hamburger from a restaurant, so he like brings a gun, and he's like, I want a hamburger. It's crazy.
That for some reason sounds familiar. I've seen that scene.
But like this movie just really reminded me of a lot of movies that kind of do that whole day in the life kind of thing, or like one day kind of story. I guess in like TV it would be considered like a bottle episode or something. Not really, but yeah, I think like they kept amping up the stakes, and like everything kept getting worse and worse for this guy. I remember seeing in the trailer the dude falling from the building.
Really, that's in the trailer?
Yeah, it was in the trailer, and I was sitting through the whole movie. I was like, how is this going to lead up to that? Like, when are we going to get to see that? Because I was like so curious.
I guess I don't really remember the trailer.
Was that Buddy who fell out of the trailer?
Yeah,
it was Buddy. Okay,
but I remember watching the trailer, and I was like, I have no idea what that movie's about.
Yeah,
no idea. But I definitely want to see it because it looked crazy. There was also a lot of weird moments in this movie that just were like weird coincidences for me and my friend because, for instance, I mean, before even that, when the credits were rolling and it said like starring Ben Safdie, and then it said directed. I said, "Wait, what?" And then like whoever that actor was, right in the beginning,
I had no idea.
I told this to him. I said, whoever this actor was, I was blown away by his performance. And then I'm like, wait a second, this guy's the director. The guy directed this movie as well and edited it.
Yeah,
I was really blown away by like these guys are really talented.
Oh yeah, and like, did you guys look up what they'd done previous?
I did look up that movie Heaven Knows What. Which is like they've done a few feature films actually. Okay. I think this was like their fourth or I think fifth for one of them and fourth for Benny.
Okay.
But that was another funny thing that they were talking about when I got to see him is that Buddy Duress, who falls out, spoiler. Yeah. He was also in Heaven Knows What, and then he got arrested because his whole story is that he was actually in jail in real life, and now he's like turned a new leaf. What is that phrase? Turn a new leaf. And now he wants to like pursue acting. Josh Safdie, who wrote and directed it, he would call him, and he was like good friends with him, and like he would talk to him a lot while he was in jail. So much so that he just got like the way he talked and his mannerisms. He wrote that whole like spiel that he gives in the back of the car about going to Adventureland and everything. And he said that guy did it in one take. He has like a memory that he can just read it. Boom! I thought that's
incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah. They mentioned that during the Q&A that I saw.
I wish I was at a Q&A.
Yeah, I know that was incredible. You had like one screening where there was a Q&A.
Yeah, one, and it was just Josh and Manny, just the brothers.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, so I got to see a Q&A with Robert Pattinson and that his name is Benny. Yeah,
Buddy.
Yeah.
And then the directors.
And the directors, yeah,
crazy.
That was really cool. And I had no idea that Benny Safdie. Mm-hmm. I had no idea that he was playing Nick. I actually didn't even see his name in the credits. I didn't even know until the end of the movie that was him. I was like, oh, interesting.
Another thing about casting is that the bail bondsman.
Yeah,
he goes to that guy. Now I was watching him for the first time and I was like, I know this guy. Like this guy looks familiar. Has he been in other stuff? But I was like, nah, I guess not. Whatever. I went and saw it again with my parents because I told them, I said, I bet you guys would like this. You should come see it. And they're sitting there, and my dad, after the end, he goes, yeah, I think that's Julian's dad. I said, wait, what? And Julian was this kid I grew up with, went to high school with. He lives right across the street from me. He goes, I'm pretty sure Julian's dad is a bail bondsman. I said, are you serious? Looked at the credits, Eric Paker. That's him.
What?
My good friend's dad, who I didn't really know because they would, for whatever reason, I never really met him, but that was his dad.
Dude, that's crazy.
And in the movie, you hear him say all right, Jules, he's talking to Julian on the phone. Like when he had the two phones in his hand, he's talking to my friend Julian.
Nuts.
I get out, I text my friend Julian. I was like, dude, was your dad in Good Time? He goes, yeah, he was.
What?
I was like, what? Because apparently, and they talked about this, is that they had a bail bondsman. Like they went around trying to find a store. They chose his store, and he was almost there as like a consultant of like how would a bail bondsman act, how would he work or anything like that. And they had lines that this guy was reading, but he kept kind of just saying, that's not really how it would go. And then they said well, do you want to try? Do you want to root for it? And he said, okay. Boom, he's in the movie.
Dude,
and I mean, he's getting like close-up shots with Jennifer Jason Leigh, Robert Pattinson, and he was awesome. Like I didn't even realize it.
I believed it.
But he's
he
an
was
actual
so
bail bondsman.
Yeah.
And then he was in the movie.
Man.
So that was one coincidence. I was like,
what a small world.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And number two is when Buddy Duress starts going off about Adventureland and everything, and I know like they're in Queens. I said, is that Adventureland in like Farmingdale Adventureland? And through like the camps that I went to as a kid and just birthday parties, I've been to Adventureland. I couldn't even tell you the amount. So suddenly when they were just like there and I saw the exteriors, I was like, are you kidding me? Like that was a crazy surreal moment to be like, this place where I've gone is just, this, I don't know.
That must have been
it
crazy.
Was bizarre. And then I asked them because I noticed, I thought that the haunted house looked a little bit different from the outside or some exterior shots. So I thought, well, maybe they can't film the whole thing there. Maybe they got from other places. So I told them, because they said they chose it because they got a budget that was a little bit bigger than they were used to. And then they just said, well, we grew up going to Adventureland. Let's try to get Adventureland. They shot it 100% on location at Adventureland. I thought that was so cool.
That is so cool. I want to shoot in Adventureland. I've never been there because, I'm not from around here, but...
crazy. Like if you grew up on
so
Long Island,
cool.
and that's, I was thinking of something funny, like all these kids or like these little girls who love Twilight that like I went to school with in middle school, if they knew that Robert Pattinson happened to just be at Adventureland, I bet they'd freak
seriously.
out. I bet they'd go nuts.
I bet no one would recognize him either, though.
Oh, yeah, not at all.
I know when I saw the trailer for the first time, I wasn't sure if that was him. But
there were just so many like weird coincidences with this movie that I was like, this is insane.
Oh, dude.
Just really like bumped it up and just, I mean, there was like nostalgia factors in there that just made me more connected with it.
That's true. Yeah. So you must have been like way more connected to it than either me or Jared. Jared, where are you from actually?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Pretty small town, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no. So you probably had more of a connection to this movie than we did. But like still, I mean, I still loved it.
Yeah.
So let's go. Let's talk about the story a little bit. We already mentioned that the performances are all incredible across the board, and the story is like, I mean, like I said, it just kind of like it just keeps like upping the stakes and keeps like chugging along, and I thought that was incredible. And the whole idea, for anyone who hasn't seen it, hopefully you have seen it because we're gonna spoil the shit out of it.
We're gonna go through the entire night.
Pretty much, yeah. So. Basically, so Nick, who's like the mentally challenged brother of Connie, played by Robert Pattinson. He gets after a bank robbery. He gets
that was awesome.
Which was
that whole scene was really cool.
That was a fantastic scene.
So Nick gets taken by the police and gets sent to jail, and Connie is trying to bail him out. So this entire night is about him trying to raise the money so that he can get his brother out of prison, so that he won't get like killed in prison.
And what's crazy is that first but then we hear that he's apparently not at the police station from the bail bondsman because he was taken to a hospital or something.
Oh, yes.
And that's what's crazy is that like, Connie's character was that, I'm breaking my brother out, and then that's it. I'm good. It doesn't even matter. Like I don't have to pay however much I was going to pay. I just got him out. Then it turns out, no, he actually took the wrong guy. Now, that was the only thing. The hospital was the only scene where I was just like, I don't know how realistic or how much I believe that. Because, I mean, I've gone to hospitals and I've done things where, like, you sit down for a second, something beeps, and a nurse is in there in, like, 30 seconds. So to be able to break out someone who was handcuffed to it.
That felt a little bit unrealistic to me also.
But I let it go because it was so much fun.
I let it go, too. Yeah, this movie is... like the title suggests, it's a really good time.
It's a good time.
Just like watching this character just fall further and further down this rabbit hole of like bad decisions and mistakes, and that's, I mean, oh man. And then we got to talk about that girl, the little girl.
Yeah.
How old is she? She's like 14?
Yeah, something like that. Pretty young. 15, 16.
That was a little creepy.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Like that was my first reaction to that, was just like, okay, well.
But like I still love the character of Connie, even though he's like...
Oh, Connie, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think... I mean, we won't skip to the end of it, but ultimately, I do think he realizes how much he messed up,
Oh, yeah.
Just in, what the guy says at the end of, it's good because Connie's right where he has to be and you're right where it's like Connie seeing Buddy fall off was like, yeah, I can't keep doing this to my brother. He just can't do it.
Yeah.
So I even just little things he says like, yeah, I was a dog in a past life. That's why they all love me. I was like, what the fuck? Like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, that girl was really,
the girl was good.
Really good.
I'm gonna say she was 14. I'm sure the actress wasn't 14. This was her first role, I think, too. She was also there at my Q&A.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, where was that?
At my Q&A? I forget the theater. Somewhere in the city, though.
Do you know, like, where in the city? Like, was it way downtown?
It was near...
Was it in, like, Chinatown?
No, it wasn't near
Because mine was, like, in the middle of nowhere.
Fuck. I can't remember. It was
I was walking to the theater.
Like, a park. I don't know. I'll figure it out after we record this.
Because that's awesome that all of them were there.
It was cool. Yeah, everyone was there. And I think this was her first role. It was also opening night when I saw it. Like, it had just come out that night.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, this was her first role. But when Connie's face pops up on the TV and then he reaches over and starts making out with her, I was cringing so hard. I was like, this is not okay. Because I believe she was like an actual 14-year-old and that Robert Pattinson was actually making out with a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
And that's not okay. And I don't care who you are. That's not okay.
And then he was just like into it. They were about to...
They were about to do more.
They were about to have a good time. You know what I mean?
Well, just imagine how Robert Pattinson was feeling, though.
Oh, I bet,
that
I heard there was... Did you guys read about this? I think Robert Pattinson did an interview where he said there was an even more fucked up scene that got cut from the movie. Or no, he refused to do it. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was like he had to have sex with a dog or something like that.
Whoa.
How would that be relevant to the story?
I have no idea. But like that's just what's popping out in my head. I don't know. I'll try to find that interview.
Which dog? There was one. That's weird. I think they.
Oh, maybe it was that dog at the end.
Yeah.
He had to calm it down.
Oh my god!
Because it was barking too much, so he had to have sex with it.
That was something that they said at the Q&A too. Is that there was a lot more, I think, actually between him and the girl that they eventually cut, and their reasoning was that if they let it go on too long and, Connie forgot about Nick or, forgot that he had to think about his brother, then we would, as the audience, forget that he has to worry about his brother. So I was like, yeah, because it really doesn't stop. Like, it doesn't really stop. Like, he has to just keep going, especially when he finds out that he took Buddy. Because now he just fucking broke someone out.
That was fucking hilarious, too.
So funny. It took me a little bit.
We probably should have mentioned this like earlier on. Like, there's some really funny moments in this.
Oh yeah.
Especially just the character of Buddy himself. Like he's
what's his name in the thing?
I forget. I don't remember.
Oh, Ray. I think it's Ray.
Ray. That sounds right. Roy. Ray.
Maybe Roy. I don't know. Whatever.
I think it may have been Roy.
Roy? I'll look it up. But either way, yeah, he was hilarious. All right, bro. Everything that he would say.
He was like very. I feel like he wasn't doing a whole lot of acting though. Also, like I feel like that's just who he is as a person.
Yeah.
I actually shook his hand. Also, he was walking out, and I was like, "Hey, good job." And he was like, he shook my hand. He shook my hand. He said, "Thank you for coming." So he was a really nice guy for the second that I saw him.
That's cool.
Yeah, and Robert Pattinson spoke to me. I said, Robert. He walked by and I said, "Hey, great job, Rob," because me and Rob go way back. And he looked at me and said, "Thanks, man." So that was fun.
Damn. Yeah, I had asked the question about Adventureland.
Oh yeah.
Like how much did you shoot there? So afterwards, when they walked out, they said, "Where were you from on Long Island?" Because I said like, "Yeah, I grew up there too." It was crazy to just see that in a movie. So I got to talk to him for a minute, but dude, that's crazy. Rob, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
I can't.
Was I just about to mention? Oh, the fucking the whole thing with like the was it LSD that was in the bottle?
Oh my god. On Pepe the Frog.
I felt so bad for that security guard.
Oh, dude, that was
wasn't
rough.
he the guy from Captain Phillips?
Yeah, yes, he was.
Yeah, Bark Out of
I thought that was funny to see.
Yeah, he was great.
And he's in Blade Runner too.
He was, for a minute. Yeah, he was.
He was in Blade Runner.
Yeah, he was the guy who like.
With the wooden horse.
Like Ryan Gosling brings the wooden horse to him. He's like, "This is real wood."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, he's getting big. He was nominated for an Oscar for Captain Phillips.
Yeah, Ray.
Yeah,
it's Ray. But
it's Ray.
Ray.
Okay, cool. So we'll call him Ray from now on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt that's the thing. It's just like Robert Pattinson's character just fucks so many people's nights.
And it's something where it's all temporal. Like the next day, everything is going to unravel and everyone's going to know the truth because like eventually it's going to be like, well, no, that's our security guard. And like the girl's going to be like, oh, well, he lied and like everything's going to happen. But for right now, in his moment of just trying to break free, he's just rolling with it. I love how he just like falls into some like slouchy security guard. The cops are just like, well, where's the other person? I don't know. Like he immediately just becomes this. Amazing! And then when the cop asked the girl, like, or asked him, I think, this girl, he was just like, nah, I don't know her. Yeah. I was like, dude, this guy is insane, out of his mind.
But, like, what are the ramifications to everything he did that night? Like, how much jail time do you get for all that shit? Which I think is like the funniest thing to me is like, how long do you think his brother would have been in jail?
Well, yeah, because he does make a point where it would probably get dismissed because of his.
That's what I'm saying. And then, like, he just, like, quadruples, like, his own sentence. Not only did he rob a bank earlier that day, he's, like, doing all this other shit. He's impersonating a fucking security guard.
He beat the shit out of him. He really beat the shit out of him. Yeah, what else? All right, so he stole that car. So Grand Theft Auto, he stole the car from that woman's
sort of
house.
Statutory rape, in a way.
Broke him out of prison. Maybe statutory
Oh, yeah,
rape.
Well, broke a dude out
of prison.
And the hospital.
And the hospital, yeah. What else did he do?
Had the LSD. I mean, you could say that he stole not only the woman's car when they drove away.
Oh, true.
But he stole Barkat Abdi's car.
Right, yeah.
And drove to Brooklyn
stole
with
that car. Yeah, that's great.
Broke into his house. Well, he had the keys, but I don't know. Yeah, too much. Too much. He had the keys, but too much. That hotel scene too, like I loved.
Yeah, that was great. From memory, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but when he's running away from the cops, isn't it like just a shot from like over? It's just like follows him as he's running away, and it doesn't.
It's as if it's like Buddy Duress actually looking over it, and then it zooms in right on the Sprite bottle as it like rolls. It just zooms in for a second. Then he calls his boy Khalif. Khalif. That was funny too. Like that whole montage of him like looking back on it.
Yeah.
And like at one point I think they cut back and you just see like Connie, Robert Pattinson, like looking right at him. I don't know, just the subtle things that they were dropping there in their characters and everything. I thought I think I said this the other day, but like Robert Pattinson, I'm not usually a fan of him. I think this is not only like one of my favorite performances of the year, I think he like disappeared into this role for me. Like I didn't think of Robert Pattinson. I thought this was Connie.
Yeah, I think Robert Pattinson is one of those people that they're like, if not after this movie, like they're gonna start to see that he really has a lot of acting talent, and because he's had some other pretty meaty roles in the past, but just in movies that people haven't really seen that much. Like I know I mentioned The Rover. He's really great in that movie, The Rover. He's also really good in the movie Cosmopolis.
Right, that was.
So he's definitely got some acting chops. He's one of those actors, I think, who, kind of blew up too fast because of the whole Twilight thing. That's also kind of how I feel about Channing Tatum. I think a lot of people don't take Channing Tatum very seriously.
I think I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Should I?
You definitely should. And if you ever have any doubt that Channing Tatum is a good actor, I think you should watch a movie called A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints. It was one of his very first movies. And he has an incredible performance, and like to the point where like he almost makes me cry several times throughout the movie.
Really?
Shia LaBeouf is also in that movie. Robert Downey Jr. is in that movie. That's an incredible movie, overall.
I've never even heard.
Yeah, but like the performances in that movie across the board are incredible, especially Channing Tatum. I think.
Wow.
You guys should watch that.
But especially because of Robert Pattinson. I just really didn't have many like high expectations for this film, but when I eventually went to go see it, like it blew me away. Especially because of him. Like I'm just used to seeing like I mean I haven't seen the movies, but like,
the Twilight movies.
Yeah,
it's okay. Like, you can admit it, Jared.
No, it's okay.
We've all seen at least one of them.
I'm gonna deny it until the day I die. But yeah, like I was just expecting to see see Robert Pattinson, not like the actual character, and I thought that really surprised me.
Yeah,
in a good way.
Yeah, for sure.
Even just like the technical aspect, I feel like there's a lot of close-ups, and maybe that's just something like a staple of the Safdie Brothers, and like not a crazy amount of wide shots or things like that. Yeah. A lot of it felt like really personal, maybe because we were really like up close on them for a lot. I mean, obviously there's some things like some driving shots where they had like crazy. Yeah. But yeah, it felt. Maybe that also led to that and the score. The score was amazing.
Oh yeah,
the score. I mean,
I forgot about that.
I think awesome. My favorite time was when he Oh my God, yeah. We might have to just go back and literally go scene by scene, because when he's in the hospital, before he goes into the room because the cop's there, he goes into that woman's room, opens the cup, like puts some on her, and then he drinks it himself.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it was like applesauce or something.
And then he looks out like the door for a second, and he sees that the cop is gone, and then the music just like really goes crazy.
Yeah,
and I thought it really amped up the intensity and like how nervous and anxious you were feeling, and how anxious he was, because I mean he's doing all this stuff, like, and he's making it all up. On
I
the
do
spot.
remember that hospital scene like making me really anxious.
I was like, "What is? Who is this guy?"
I feel like a lot of this movie was making me anxious. Like it's just like. I was watching it. It's just like I was like, where the fuck is he gonna go now? Like, what's he gonna do? And somehow he just keeps getting out of these situations and into a new one. It's crazy.
Like, do you actually think his house was anywhere close to where he told that driver? Because he told the guy, "Oh yeah, just a couple blocks." He got off. He goes right back to
I think that was.
Who knows where he actually lived or.
Yeah, he was just like throwing the trail. He's really smart though. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't have thought to do half the shit
he's like a chameleon. He literally just was able to adapt with anyone he was talking to.
I mean, he's smart, but he's also like a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
What?
Well, like with all the stuff that they kind of highlighted, like throughout that one night, like all the stuff that Connie did, like it kind of made me think about like what else he's done for Nick.
Oh,
in
true.
The past.
Yeah, because we really don't get a lot of backstory between them.
No,
like things that he hasn't gotten caught for, which might be why he's like so used to doing it.
Yeah, probably.
And even like when he first goes to Jennifer Jason Leigh's house, and the mom is just like, Connie's really not a good time. And he goes, "That's all right, I can leave." And then Jennifer Jason Leigh goes, "No, it's okay." He just walks right in. Like, there were just little things like that where we don't get a lot of explanation, but we understand how these characters are. Like the mom and the daughter, that's a mess of a relationship, and Connie just like kind of rolls with it, like whatever he's a
fast thinker, quick talker.
Yeah,
he's silver-tongued devil.
Dyes his hair.
Yeah.
That was
That's right. Oh wait, did he? He got the money from the bank, right? Oh yeah, he uses it at the bail bondsman.
He had stashed it. Yeah, it was like
that was really cool.
That
actually,
too. When the money,
he's trying to go into the bathroom.
When the money, that whole thing was insane. All the smoke and then car smashed around it. I was like, whoa. And then
this movie felt so real.
Yeah.
Like minus the parts where where you're like, that can never happen. But like just like little things like when he tries to use the bathroom. When he's like covered in all that paint, and he like tries to go to the bathroom to stash the money in the ceiling, and then like someone's like yelling at him like, "Oh, you can't go in there" or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he's in there, and he's just like, "Oh no, he brings his brother in there, right?"
Yeah, they
and he's like, "My brother had an accident" or something like that.
Yeah, I think he says like, my brother's mentally handicapped. A can of paint fell on his head. I just need like 5 minutes. Just please 5 minutes. And I was gonna say Benny, but Nick is there like splashing toilet water in his face.
Yeah,
he's like, "Nick, what are you doing? Come on."
Yeah, like just like that. How frantic it was, and like the people telling them to get out of there. Like it just felt so real.
Like especially in scenes like that, just in like Connie's little world, like in his mind, you can just tell that like there's so many like levels of like struggles. Like he has Nick all the time, but then it's like all this little stuff that just keeps piling on.
Yeah,
and really maybe that's another thing of him like disappearing. I mean, with Nick, we see him in the beginning, and then that's it. Like we never actually see them together again after he goes away. But Connie's relationship with everyone, like when he brings Jennifer Jason Leigh to the bail bondsman, and eventually he's just like, "I don't know what she's doing. I didn't expect any of this. I'm sorry about this, but she's going fucking crazy." It's just like you don't really know who his allegiance is to, because that scene also gets really chaotic. Jennifer Jason Leigh is screaming.
I totally forgot about her performance
on the phone with both of them. Yeah, like she was
really
incredible. Good.
Like
really good.
That character, like it was also probably, I'm sure it was written really well, but like that was a real character. Like I've met people like that in my life. Who will just like throw a temper tantrum because they don't get what they want. That was actually that. I remember walking out. I think I was.
Was she there? Was she?
She was not there. No, I remember walking. I saw it with some friends of mine, and then we went back to Queens, and we were like walking down the street, and I was just thinking about that character, and I was just like, that might have been one of the most real characters I've seen in a movie in a very long time.
She was great.
Yeah,
could have been a lot bigger of a character.
Probably.
I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, what happened with her? What was
nothing really? I mean, he calls her while he's at the girl's house and is saying like, "You got to come pick us up. Like, here's the address." But by the time, like, whatever, Ray has woken up and they got to dip. Right. They got to leave. Which that whole thing, too, because, like I said, I didn't really fully get it. Like, when I heard someone like, yo, where the fuck am I? Like, what's going on? I was like, wait, what's going on? Is that Nick? Like, he's waking up? Yeah. Didn't put it together that that's clearly not how Nick would even probably be reacted to that. And then, when you just go, and you're the wrong guy. What can I tell you? I was like, what? And then, again, I'm like, where is this going now? Like, I had no idea where it was going to go.
I thought it was great. And then they, bring the girl to go get some food, and then they have that talk where he goes on that whole monologue thing, right?
And they're still lying to the girl, because when she comes back in, all right, we're just going to go to his house, drop him off. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, I'm going to go take a shit in his house. Yeah. But they climb into Adventureland.
Yeah, and I love that whole scene when... Where did they go?
Wait, which one? Adventureland?
White Castle.
Oh, they go to White Castle.
Yeah, when they're in the car.
Yeah.
Like, one, I just thought the fact that they went to White Castle was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then, two, like, that whole scene in the car was just really good.
Yeah, and then that goes right into Adventureland, right?
Yeah.
They go straight there.
They drive right there, yeah. Yeah. You see, like, and me and my friend were sitting right next to each other, and when they had that, like, crazy shot of just the car moving, and it went past, like, the front of Adventureland, we turned to each other, we were like, is that fucking, like, Adventureland, the one that we know? And we were just like, this is going to be insane. And, they were. Yeah,
I love how, like, little trust there is between, like, the girl, obviously, for whatever reason, trusts Robert Pattinson. But, like, between, like, Connie and Ray, there's just, like, no trust there. Like Connie's not going to let him out of his sight, no matter how much Ray says. He's like, don't worry, like, we're in this together, like, you know, but... They're both criminals. You can't trust a criminal. You can never trust what they say, even if you're a criminal yourself.
And Connie does think he's better than Ray. I mean, we get that, but there's a lot of things that I still don't even get about Connie. Like, he says at one point about smoking, and he goes, "It has no effect on me. Doesn't like weed has no effect on him." Okay, he thinks he's a dog in a past life. Okay, and I don't know, just that whole exchange in the hotel room once it's morning, and Ray's saying all this stuff like, I made more money in the past 2 years than you're making a whole life. Where he goes, well, when you see me driving a Lambo, and Connie's just like, you don't get what I'm saying at all. Like, they're really on two different levels of mindsets of, I guess, just of life in general. I mean, Connie, he does all this terrible stuff, but he must justify it to himself somehow. And I think it's only the moment when he sees Ray, like, fall that he's just like, I'm a mess. I can't put this on my brother anymore.
Do you think that's his breaking point?
That's what I think is breaking. Just that stare, that long stare in the car. Especially he's been up for like a whole night.
Yeah,
just
but
like,
you think it's seeing Ray fall to his death that does him in?
I think so. Why? What do you think?
I don't. Well, I'm just wondering. Like, I just wonder. Like, has he seen death before? You think? You think he's seen a death that's, like, directly related to him?
That's a good question.
Probably not, with how, like, intensely he kind of reacted to it.
Yeah, because that's enough to rattle someone. Like, it's one thing to, like, beat a guy up and take his security guard costume, but to actually, like, be the reason someone died, and, like, that might have been what broke him at the end.
Or does maybe you think because he's just like a drunk that wasn't even his fault? Who knows how you could rationalize it?
Yeah,
like, look at all the stuff that he does nonchalantly, no problem, doesn't care,
exactly,
So that's a good. That's just the vibe I got once, like, the doctor, brought Nick to that class at the end, which that too was like crazy. Yeah, obviously the credits starts roll, but I sat through that whole thing because I was like, whoa.
Right, yeah, and then when that song starts playing too, that's the one. I think is that Iggy Pop in that song?
Oh, is it?
I think there's a song on here with Iggy Pop on it.
I gotta get not only, like, the score that the guy made, but, like, well, actually, that might be one of the only, like, real songs they used, I guess. Yeah,
I forget who does that song that was at the end, but I know I have it saved on Spotify, but that's a really great song, and I think, like, there's like a guy delivering, like, a spoken word thing, and I think it's Iggy Pop.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
but I could be wrong.
That really, like, deep voice.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that same guy, whoever it is, like, does the voiceover for the trailer too.
Oh yeah, probably.
Like, that deep voice is kind of like talking about it throughout.
Yeah, because the trailer ends with, like, you're gonna have a good time, right?
Yeah,
don't they say that?
Like that?
So kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just because that he's saying, like, and what's great is that he did the right thing. Like, he's saying that Connie did the right thing. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, we know right from the beginning he surely does not like Connie at all. He probably despises him for the way he, acts towards Nick and what he does for Nick. But for him to say, like, and you know what, he did the right thing, he did the good thing. I was like, well, the only realistic thing to me is that he said, yeah, look, it was me. I robbed the bank. Nick had nothing to do with it. That's all me. And he goes away. He says he's right where he belongs. Surely I think he thinks that Connie belongs in prison. That's why I was getting that vibe of Connie.
Connie thinks he belongs in prison?
No, the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
He says, like, he's right where he belongs, which he does belong in prison,
totally
obviously.
Does, yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to counter that. But that's the vibe I got, that he, like, really had a moment of, I got to stop this.
Yeah. And I mean, to me, I don't know, maybe it's just me thinking of it too personally, but I think him seeing Ray fall to his death is what did that. But also, I was also just, like, totally imagining, like, where they got the influence for Connie and Nick's relationship. Just because, like, Connie cares so much about Nick. And it's, like, it's actually, like, kind of adorable how much he cares for Nick. And it was giving me, like remnants of Mice and Men. How, like, George, you guys have both read of Mice and Men, right? I'm assuming.
Not since, like,
Jared, where were you in
year
9th grade? Come on. Jared's a slacker.
I wasn't taking those classes.
No Q&A, no Mice and Men.
Come on, man.
Sorry.
No nickname? I mean, I'm Timmy-Boy.
Timmy-Boy. Can't call you,
Dante's
can't call you Jerry Boy.
Jerry Boy?
Jer Bear. Jer Bear. I already call someone Jer Bear. His name's Jerry, so I call him Jer Bear. I
can't double dip nicknames.
Can't double down.
Well, if you think of one, I'm open.
Come up with something. Timmy Boy, you think of something too.
All right.
For Jared.
Jarred from Subway?
Oh, God. No.
Oh, no. Once upon a time, that would have been okay.
We will get shut down immediately if they think Jarred from Subway is on the podcast. People swarm in.
Yeah. No, but so I was just thinking of Mice and Men.
I get that.
The whole, like, George and Lenny relationship, and it's kind of like that idea that at the end, it's kind of the opposite, though, because at the end, like, George does what needs to be done by killing Lenny. And in this one, Connie does what needs to be done, which is to save Nick, which is to give himself up.
Right.
And, I guess it's like the one selfless thing he does throughout the movie. Everything he does to every other character is completely selfish. It's completely for him. Well, it's for Nick, but it's also for him.
Right.
And at the very end, he finally, like, relinquishes that and becomes selfless for a minute. And Nick is the only person he'd do that for. And I think that's fucking adorable.
Yeah.
Well, I was just watching an interview of the Safdie Brothers, and I forget what exactly went on, but like, Josh seemed like the one that kind of wrote the whole thing, basically, and like, he set something up for Ben and Robert Pattinson to, like, start emailing back and forth as, like, a pre-log, I guess. And so like, they were exchanging emails for a fairly long time, like, before they even started shooting. Mm-hmm. So before they, like, met in person even, like, they had this connection of, like, what the character should be like. So that just kind of amped it up. That's
really smart. That's probably a really good technique, and I'm sure a lot of films do that. They have characters build their relationship beforehand.
Especially something like that personal with these two brothers.
Yeah, but you could tell. You could see it. I think it shows on screen. For, like, the very little screen time they have together. They're really not on screen for all that long. But...
Yeah, and yet it really, like, I have so many images of them together in my head just because of how powerful they are right in the beginning. Yeah. Like, leaving the bank, running. Crazy. Yeah. And when he's amping him up, he's like, "You think I could have done that without you?" And he's, no, everything that he says.
Oh, yeah, and that's fucking beautiful.
So good.
Man. And, here's a question I'm going to throw out there, and I really don't want to offend anyone. But I really wonder, would it have been as powerful if Nick wasn't handicapped?
Well, I mean, I think it would be a different story.
Yeah.
Right?
It
might still work.
It's just kind of a hard question to answer.
Yeah, I know. It's a weird question to ask because it's just, like, obviously, like, we'll never know. But
like just having that just adds, like, another, like, a different dynamic to it that like you wouldn't get if it was just like a younger brother or anything.
Would not have ran through glass door if he didn't have, so how would he get caught? Yeah, no, that's a good point. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it works. I mean, I'm you know, it was a good decision on their part. It was really emotional, and I don't know. I'm just wondering, because like, did he need to be mentally handicapped for any particular reason? And I don't know. I don't know.
You know what's funny that I tried to do the second and third time I saw, which when you guys see it again, which I'm sure you'll eventually rewatch it.
Yeah.
When he's breaking who he believes to be Nick out of the hospital, now that I knew that it wasn't, Nick or Benny, I tried to see if like I could see Ray or I could see Buddy Duress like in the chair as he went, and both times it still kind of looks like Nick. It still kind of looks like they put Benny Safdie in that chair.
Yeah, you think
so? Like I feel like maybe like that would really be fucking with the audience if you actually put him there, because the first time you're watching, you don't even second guess it. Yeah. He's handcuffed. There's a cop out there. Yeah, obviously.
Because once the bandages are off, they look nothing alike.
Yeah, and the hair too. Like they have completely different. Like I think. Which one? One of them had like curly hair. One of them did not have curly hair. So I was trying to see, and when he's wheeling him out there, it looks like it's Benny. So I don't know what they did there. I'd be interested to see, like, did they actually just try to like, because maybe they're trying to really force it through Connie's perspective, and in his perspective, he wasn't second guess. He didn't even look at the chart. He was just like, oh yeah, that's easily my brother, So that was something that I was trying to look at, but I still don't have a solid answer about how they did that.
Thinking back, like, maybe one thing I would have done away with, and this is just me, this maybe it's just a personal thing, but I almost kind of wish we didn't see Nick getting into trouble in prison and, like, getting in fights and stuff. I almost wish we kind of saw this movie entirely through Connie's point of view.
So, like, he just finds out that he's not in prison?
Yeah.
Because when the bail bondsman says, like, oh, he's actually at Elmhurst.
Yeah.
We would just, that's how we would find out?
That's how we would find out. Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, I just feel like that would have made it a little bit more interesting to me.
I mean, maybe, but
until the very end when we see Nick out, because that ending I think was incredible. I think that whole scene of him with the other people in the room doing that game, that activity, I thought that was really cool.
I did feel kind of, but I liked those scenes because I thought they were really powerful in how uncomfortable they made me, because I felt bad for Nick. I was like, this guy should not be locked up in prison. When he's on the phone and the guy's telling me, he's like, I'm talking to my grandmother, and then he just wants to watch something different on TV. I really felt bad because obviously this kid is not equipped to be doing anything like this or dealing with these people. So I think that the purpose, or maybe their reasoning, because that is a decent. I mean, that's actually, I think, just the title sequence, right? Like, because I think most of the credits are coming up while he's in prison.
Is it? I forget.
I'm not positive, but that really made me feel for Nick a lot. So that maybe their rationale is really get it like emotionally set on Nick, so that the whole movie is like, yeah, we got to do this for Nick. Right. That's why Connie's doing it. Because I felt bad. I mean, even though, because we don't really know even what happened to him. Like, was he at that hospital? Where was he actually?
Yeah, I don't know. Was he?
Because he wasn't on that floor, or was he? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because he probably would have been. He would have had like police officers with him outside his door.
Yeah. So where was he?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, again, it's been a while since I've seen it. So all of this is just kind of like bringing stuff back. Yeah. I feel like we didn't really touch upon like the whole Adventureland sequence that much. I think like we could actually just talk about the cinematography of this movie a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was gonna say that earlier. Like, and I thought the lighting throughout the whole throughout the whole movie really, but especially just during like nighttime, I thought it was amazing. Yeah,
making a movie entirely at night is a pretty big task, because you got to figure out where the light's coming from and how to light it, and they did a great job.
Yeah, when they go, because that's a decent amount. I mean, once they're in the haunted house, first they're looking for it. Yeah. Then he comes in, he says he's called the cops, so they start hiding. He captures Ray, puts Ray in the security center. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was just all so good. Mm-hmm. And then he flushes Connie out of there. And then I love how they forget, they beat the shit out of him, and then they're back to just looking for the acid and looking for the money, And then they completely forget that. And that was another thing, like Nassau County Police. I was like, yeah, they're in fucking Nassau County. Like that's where I live.
That's crazy.
It was just too much going on. Like I was really freaking out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So they leave. Do they leave? No, they don't leave the drugs there. Never mind.
They don't leave the drugs there, but they never find the money. I don't think they ever.
Right.
Once they have the bottle of Sprite,
they're gonna just sell that.
They're just gonna sell that. Yeah. When they pour it in it, dude.
And then so then
this
they go back to
motherfucker's
the
not waking up. I was like, dude, you're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill that guy.
Did anyone else feel like that security guard had a way nicer home than he should have?
Yeah,
like
easily. How is he?
How is he affording that?
I have no idea.
Still lives with his
Gotta feed that dog too.
Really nice. I don't know how that was.
Yeah, I remember thinking that during. I think actually maybe they make a point of that in the movie. I feel like they walk in and they're like,
I think Ray's like,
this is like way nicer than
nice place. Yeah. How would he have that? I have no idea.
Don't know. Do we see what's his name? The security guard?
I don't know his name in the movie, but it's Abdi, Barkat Abdi.
Yeah. We see him like tripping out on LSD, right?
Yeah,
I felt so bad when I saw that.
Like he's on the stretcher and he's like like nothing audible is yeah. That could kill you.
Yeah.
That could kill you.
Yeah.
He was just drowning in it.
That much. He didn't have to like pour it in his mouth. He could have just like give him a little bit.
And I've heard people who say like they've taken 2 tabs in like too short of a period and they get fucked up. That guy, however much he consumed, you can't be doing that.
Too much.
That is not a good time.
All right. Well, I think that's a good note to maybe wrap up on.
Might be.
This movie is a good time to watch, but not a good time for the people in it.
Should we give ratings?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
I know for a Ghost Story we gave ratings. Did you guys give ratings for Blade Runner?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, Jared, we'll start with you. I guess just maybe wrap up what you think about it and then give a rating.
I mean, overall, and especially because of what's the production company? A24.
Oh, A24.
I think yeah. Like, well, knowing it was that, I figured it would be a good movie. But yeah, overall, I thought it was really good. Like the acting, especially, was fantastic with Ben and Connie. I'll give it like a 90.
90.
91.
91.
Yeah, damn, we're going Metacritic scores right now. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, every episode's different with how we rate things.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's like sometimes we do like percentage, sometimes we just do out of 10.
Okay, so we'll do it out of 100. All right.
Yeah, out of 100.
I mean, yeah.
No, that changes it. Like it makes it a little bit finer if you do it out of 100.
That's true. I definitely love this movie. I think I'm going to take a break from it for now. You know, maybe
you see it 3
not
times.
See it for a while.
Collectively, we've seen this movie 5 times.
Yeah, really. It's just too much. I'll probably wait at least a while and then I'll see it again so that I had forgotten some stuff of it. I would probably give it. Well, sorry, got to go out of 100. I was just gonna say like some out of 10. I'd probably give it like an 80, 85. You know,
85. Okay.
It was really just the hospital scene that did me in for like a little bit of yeah. I'll believe it. But otherwise, I think it's just a lot of fun. The way that they created dramatic tension, not only in the writing but just how they shot it, I thought, and with the music, so good. So yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yep.
Can't wait to see it.
I'm probably just going to agree with you, Tim. I think I'm going to give it I'll give it an 85. But pretty much for all the reasons that you guys mentioned already. I think the performances across the board are all incredible. I think the score was one of my favorite scores of the year, along with a Ghost Story. Actually, a Ghost Story had a really great score.
I have to see that movie.
Yeah, you Definitely. Should see it. And Blade Runner is probably one of my favorite scores recently that I've seen.
That was intense.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, the music was good.
Performances, just like the fact that it's just nonstop. It's like really it never stopped, and I think that a lot of films can kind of learn something from it if that's what your story is going for. There really wasn't a whole lot of like exposition, a whole lot of just like slow moments. Everything was just like amped up, and it just kept going.
Couldn't even really break to like process what had just happened because he was already on to the next part of the journey.
I think the characters were all developed incredibly well. I think every single character was unique and at the same time realistic, which is not something you see every day in movies. A whole lot of times, like when you're watching a movie, you know that a character is a character. But in this, like I was watching it, and it really felt like a lot of these characters were real people that had a whole backstory and whatever, and had actual relationships. I think the relationship between Connie and Nick was incredibly well done. I mean, I wouldn't say a perfect movie. I wouldn't say it's maybe my top 10 of the year. I don't know. I'll have to see what the rest of the year holds.
As of right now, I think it's definitely my top 10 of the year. It's just a lot of fun. So if you have not seen Good Time, you want to have a good time, you want some fun, definitely see it. It's a lot of fun to watch.
All right. Yeah, so 85 from me, 91 from Jared, 80 85.
I'll go to 85. I'll go with 85.
85.
And I'll bring mine down to 90.
Okay, good. I'm glad we settled that.
Finalizing that 1%.
Wasn't that good. All right. So, Jared, are you ready?
For what?
To tell the people where they could find us.
Oh, shit! I forgot.
I told you it was going to happen one day.
I forgot about this quiz.
Where can they find us? What's our Twitter handle?
How about next time?
Next time. All right, fine. I'll do it this time. Or maybe Timmy-Boy could do it.
Sure. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at TakeUpReel, or on Facebook. You just search The Take Up Reel, and you can obviously find us on iTunes, Patreon. Become a patron.
I still don't know how Patreon works. I don't think it's what Evan thinks it is, where people just like throw money at us. I think we have to like actually offer them something.
I think it is. You can have a setting where it's, because I used to go in there for like some YouTuber because of that whole like ad nonsense with YouTube, how they were like diminishing everything, and he made really good content. So I think I gave him like $2 a month or something. Okay. So I think literally you can just have people.
All right. Yeah.
So hey, give us money.
Give us money, and we'll maybe give you guys merch. I think we're gonna have like shirts and stuff.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck we're gonna pay for that. We could barely afford the fucking Lipson
storage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay for our storage.
We've had. I was actually just looking at it. We had 5 episodes in October.
That's crazy.
We don't have any storage left, so this is gonna come out probably the first day of November.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But 5 episodes in October. I think that's incredible.
That's pretty cool.
And we could probably do more in the future.
Absolutely.
We already got so much lined up.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about the Florida Project at some point. We're going to be talking about Thor when that comes out. Suburbicon comes out today.
My friend saw it last night.
I was going to go see it last night. I couldn't, though.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
I really want to. Fuck.
Suburbicon. I don't know
Stranger Things came out.
Yeah. Stranger Things today?
Today, yeah.
I have to watch
Suburbicon, though, like, I don't know. That trailer just looks weird.
Oh, it looks great.
Like, written by Coen Brothers, directed by George Clooney, starring Matt Damon. I don't know how I feel about that combination. I love the Coen Brothers, but...
I love it. George Clooney's a solid director, though.
What has he directed?
He directed...
Did he direct The Descendants, or did he just?
I don't think so. No. Alexander Payne, I believe, directed.
You're right.
But he directed a movie called Confessions of a Dangerous Mind with Sam Rockwell, and that's a great movie.
I like Sam Rockwell.
Of that.
Yeah, you guys should all check that out.
I like Sam Rockwell.
And he did a great job with that. He's also, he's directed. What's that other thing he directed? I don't think he directed The Ides of March.
Have you guys seen the trailer for that movie, The Three Billboards Outside?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be, like, amazing.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I can't wait to see that.
That's from the guy who made In Bruges. Have you seen In Bruges?
No.
Oh, he made 7 Psychopaths also.
Okay.
Man, come on. This is a movie podcast. You guys got to watch your movies.
Sorry. I've been watching too many, like, silent films and stuff for classes and shit.
Yeah, well, that'll stop eventually.
I finally watched Psycho the other day in class.
Yeah?
Wow.
I love that.
Have you ever seen the shot-for-shot remake?
No,
Vince
but he told us about that, and I'm not going to watch that.
It's a shot-for-shot remake.
I would I could not watch that.
No.
Yeah.
Just like I wish I could go back and never watch Hacksaw Ridge. Did you see Hacksaw Ridge?
I really want to see Hacksaw Ridge.
Dude, I hated it.
Really?
Not hated.
You're maybe like one of the only people I've heard that disliked it.
The war
it.
or the battle sequences, I guess I should say, were awesome, but there were some. No,
Yeah.
hated it.
Oh man, I wish.
But
you
Andrew
were on.
Garfield the same year was in Silence. I thought he was amazing in Silence.
Silence
I thought
is great,
Silence. I loved it. Hacksaw Ridge I thought was terrible. Have you seen Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
So take Full Metal Jacket, and you take the sergeant's position, and you remove him, and you put in Vince Vaughn. Does that work? No. But that's what Mel Gibson thought would work in Hacksaw Ridge. Fuck that movie. I hate that movie.
Well, but Mel
We can
Gibson
review
isn't
it, though.
really all there, though. So.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Gotta give him some
Have you guys seen Apocalypto?
Yes.
Oh,
I love that movie.
Apocalypto. That's a Mel Gibson movie. He directed it.
I think I stumbled down to that on
Fuck, that
TV once,
movie's-
and I then watched the whole thing.
Yeah, that movie fucked me up for a while. That movie's brutal.
Dude, when they're...
They like cut out a dude's
Yeah.
heart or something,
Oh my
don't
God.
they? Is it his heart or his head?
Well, at one point they do have like a head rolling scene.
yeah,
where,
they like
heads
cut
are
his head
rolling.
off and throw
But
it
I think
down,
you're right.
like, a
No,
bunch
they,
of stairs.
they definitely do.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And there's
That
like, that woman giving birth in that like this woman like gives birth. She falls down a well or something. Like she like gives birth in the well and has to like keep the baby alive.
Not
and the well is
good.
filling up with water because it's raining.
Not good,
my
dude.
God.
But it's actually
Oh
really
my
good.
god, it's so intense. What a good movie.
You just need to make like a list of movies for
Oh,
me to watch,
seriously.
and I'll just go down.
I don't know how many I just named in the last like
Yeah.
5 minutes.
At
but,
least, like, 10,
all of them.
Not Hacksaw Ridge though.
Yeah, don't watch that. I mean, apparently, I still haven't seen it.
Still
I'd
see
like
it.
to.
You know, let me
Yeah.
know what you
It's
think.
good.
But
Well, when I was watching Psycho, just watching like who played Norman Bates in the
Fuck, what's his name? I don't know. I just always know him as
Yeah,
Norman
yeah.
Bates.
yeah.
but like his mannerisms and stuff. Like, and I thought that like a remake in the future, Andrew Garfield would kind of be good for that
Okay,
role
yeah,
as
yeah.
Norman Bates.
Isn't there's a show
see
called
that.
Bates Motel?
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about that? Have you seen
Yeah,
it?
and I started watching it like right after I
Yeah.
saw Psycho.
How
I
are
knew
That's
like
actually-
one person who watched it. And
'Cause
they liked
what's
it.
his name?
but-
Freddie.
Yeah.
Is Freddie Highmore? Does he play?
Yeah,
Is
Who's
he
that?
good?
yeah, he's all right. I'm only a couple episodes
Okay.
in, so like it's hard to tell. But it's weird because it's not like it's set now. Basically, it's not back
Oh.
then. It's not like an
Oh.
origin story, so it's kind of like an alternate universe, which is kind of
What? I
kinda
have no
awkward,
idea.
but-
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know about that.
it's a little strange.
Whatever. We should probably end the episode.
Yeah, we got a little sidetrack, a little bit of a
little bit of a
tangent.
sidetrack.
Check
but
out
that's
Good
okay.
Time.
Check out Good Time.
It's a pretty good time.
Yeah. So, for the Take Up Reel, I've been Josh.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Jared.
So we will all see you next week.
Later.
Sounds good.
All right. All right. Solid episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought Bates Motel. I heard good things about Bates Motel, but I guess I won't check it out now. I didn't know it was set in modern day.
Yeah, like
I don't
they got
even know if I'm
phones and
interested in
stuff.
that.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds dumb. But yeah, definitely like a lot of the movies I recommended, like A Guide for Recognizing Your Saints.
I know you told me about Cosmopolis the other day.
Cosmopolis is really Cosmopolis like is like it's a weird movie and like kind of a slow movie, but like the guy who wrote the novel that Cosmopolis is based on is my favorite novelist, so I just love everything that he's written. So it's a good story. I
The bureau is
guess.
out
Yeah, what else I recommend?
from
Oh,
love.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Yeah, let me
Is,
The damned
George
always
Clooney's
out
dad, and Sam
from
Rockwell-
love.
Sam Rockwell gives an incredible performance.
Mhm.
Which one? Wait, just
A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints.
that's the Channing Tatum.
Yeah, Channing Tatum's in that. Shia LaBeouf is in that. That's
Every day I think about untwisting and untangling
Shia LaBeouf. That was
these strings I'm in to lead a pure life. Look ahead in a clear sky. I ain't gonna get there. But it's a nice dream. It's a nice dream. Death. Make me brave. Death. Leave me swinging. The pure always act from love.
Bye.
Oh, that went well.
That was fun.
We were a little over time, but it's okay.
Sorry, guys.
Were we under an hour?
Yeah.
Because we had all that. We had the. Oh, we stopped it, but we had that chunk in the beginning.
Ooh. We had so much in the beginning.
Yeah.
So much chunk in the beginning.
Oh, God. It's still recording, so we can add all this.
not.
Yes, it is.
It is, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I have to
we
go
have
in there.
so much chunk at the beginning. It's not even funny.
I'm gonna put that up here. So much chunk. You know what? So much chunk is gonna.
Too much chunk.
Oh, that's gonna be something. Let's put that on the t-shirt.
Someday, I swear, we're gonna go to a place where we can do everything we want to. And we can pet the crocodiles. Love. The pure always act from love. The dead always act from love. That's love. The pure always act from love. That's love. The pure and the damned. The pure and the damned.